Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 83 of my Wurm Unlimited tutorial series. This episode is going to be on becoming a follower of a chosen deity on the road to becoming a priest. Now, when I say chosen deity, okay, let's make this all very clear. Let's proceed how I intend to finish, or at least continue. Because when it comes to religion in Wurm, as you'll notice on their website, there's a whole area dedicated to religion. And it's a huge, huge subject. So I'm going to tackle it appropriately by slicing and dicing it up into palatable episodes for you. So when it talks about the chosen deity, in Wurm Unlimited and on your public servers, we will only be talking about the four main gods, of which there are three white lighters, okay, which refer to the three gods that are in the white light, and they're called white lighters. They are Venora, Magrenon and Foe. They're the three white light gods. They consider them good gods. There is also the black light god, which is Libilla. Consider her evil. Now, you can tell through the different skills that they have why I say good and evil. We will get to all of their skills, all their spells, and everything to do with that. There's tons. I'll get to it. It'll be another episode, and it will be it'll be many more episodes, and they'll all be very good, I hope. Okay, so this is a very big subject. I shall break the information up, and in this episode, we are going to focus and concentrate on becoming and being a follower. I shall start by first reading from the wonderful Wurmpedia to introduce you to Wurm's religion. Okay, so here we are. Religion takes a very large role in Wurm, from creating enchanted items and casting offensive spells to using rare and unique artifacts sent from the gods. On that subject, you'll notice there's chests dotted around the world for us Wurm Unlimited people, and they can contain artifacts. Okay, continuing on from Wurmpedia, although it is entirely possible to have an enjoyable experience without religion, it can help to take away some of the monotony of day-to-day life for a Wurmian and provide an extra edge during combat. And that, my dear Wurmians, is an understatement. I must show you the weapon that I was given by a friend in Wurm Online, Tridek, his character's name was. A lovely, beautiful human being who gave me one of the best items I've ever had in Wurm Online. So I must show you that at some point. Basically, it's an enchanted weapon. But we'll get to that in a later episode. Okay, and religion is also a ton of fun. I kid you not. I mean, you're going to see some amazing things open up in the game as we progress. Well, before I begin, I should mention there is a lot of information to cover on followers and priests, so I do not know how many episodes there will be, but I hope you will enjoy them all. Carrying on from the Wurmpedia to give you some background on religion. In the beginning, there were four gods. The three white light gods, Foe, Venora and Magrenon, and the black light god, Libilla. In more recent times, some Wurmians have succeeded in their efforts to ascend, adding three new player gods to the Parthenon. The white light god Narjo, and the black light gods Nathan and Tozik. They are, just for your information, these three players, they are in Wurm Online only. This does not apply to us in Wurm Unlimited or the private public servers. It is only for Wurm Online. 3 players that have won a contest and ascended to join the gods. They become a demigod. Okay, continuing on. Following a religion gives many bonuses to a player, the greatest of which is the ability to become a priest, champion, or a demigod if you're playing Wurm Online. Okay, so here's the list. Followers receive bonuses to some of their skills while in the domain of their god. So in another episode you will notice when we're in the vicinity of our chosen god, and I will show you how. I will show you everything to do with that, worry not. Okay, but when we're in the vicinity, you will notice up in the top right here where these icons are, the newbie buffs, because this was a new character I've created. Okay, in order to prepare for this series on religion, okay, I started my characters, preparing them, let me see, it must have been the end of December, to give you some idea of how long it can take. Now that was because I was not focusing on it all the time. I was just doing it now and again when I reminded myself to. Okay, that's why it's taken me over 3 months to get to the place I needed to get to do these episodes. So okay, that was just me. If you want to do this, you can go from becoming a follower to a priest in probably 1 week or less. Okay, depends on how fanatical you are. Anyway, so that's a follower. He receives a bonus buff up here when you're in the realm of your deity, which I will explain later. Priests can cast powerful spells, destroying their enemy or imbuing items and weapons with special abilities. Oh, some of the priest's spells are just so cool, especially the enchantments, and I know I've mentioned it before, but they are fantastic, as you will see. Okay, after becoming a priest, you can then progress to becoming a champion. Champions gain massive defense and skill bonuses. Again, that champions are... I'm not going to promise an episode on champions. Alright, let's get ridiculous, alright? Because there'll be those of you out there watching that want to equally get ridiculous and say, Gamester, you old fool, you are going to do an episode on champions. Okay, I'll go with you on that. I'll do an episode on champions when I reach 20,000 likes on one of my episodes. Not total likes, but on one of my Wurm episodes. When I reach 20,000 likes, and I think I'm being lenient, then I will look into doing an episode on champions. So there we go, swings and roundabouts. Okay, and last of all in this list, demigods may join the ranks of the dainties on Valray and create their own religion for players to follow, battling for the victory of their followers. Again, that last, demigods, is only in Wurm Online. Although, having said that, you can view the map to... can I remember how to bring it up? Yeah, there, Valray map. So this is what I'm talking about. You may have glanced it in Wurm Unlimited and thought, what's all this about? It's, you've got to be playing Wurm Online, and if you ascend to being a demigod, then this is where you are with your followers. That's all I'm going to say on it, okay? Because I could go off on an extreme tangent, and I've behaved myself for the last 100 episodes, you may have noticed. So let's continue on. Okay, so we're going to start at the beginning with followers, okay? Because you start as a follower, then you progress to becoming a priest, then you may decide you want to progress to becoming a champion. But this episode, of course, is becoming a follower. Followers are those who have decided to accept a religion into their lives, and by doing so they will trade a small number of restrictions in exchange for dainty bonuses and the blessings of their god. Which I mentioned the bonus buff up here, which you will get. And there are restrictions. I will cover them thoroughly in another episode. Okay, all restrictions. But the first thing for you to know about that is important is alignment. Okay, now up here in the skills list, okay, that's all that concerns us, and the only one that's going to concern us for this particular episode is alignment. And you'll see only a little bit, a tiny fraction, but I will cover it in depth. But anyway, the first thing for us to know about is alignment. Alignment is a measure of how good you are to your God. Now notice at the moment, because I'm not a follower, there are no numbers over here. So for example, under skills, you see they all start at 1. Notice, however, there's no numbers here. That's simply because I haven't become a follower yet. You will see when I become a follower, then numbers appear here. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so what that's talking about is if we manage to get 100 in our alignment, which is this one, then that is the maximum that you can get, 100, and that would be the maximum for Foe, Venora or Magrenon. If you want it to be maximum for Libilla, it would be minus 100. It goes in the opposite direction for the black light. An alignment of 0 is sufficient to be accepted as a Venora or Magrenon follower. However, Foe requires an alignment of at least 1, or Foe will not accept the person as a follower. Now, because I know you are all very clever viewers, you are asking yourselves and me, if Foe requires at least 1 alignment, how on earth can I become a follower of Foe? Well, let me explain first how to become a follower. Then I will answer that question. Okay, so continuing on. And forgive me that I didn't answer your question straight away. There's a reason for it. You'll see. Let me continue. There are 2 ways in which a Wurmium may become a follower of a god. By being converted by a current follower, or by starting on a pilgrimage to one of the special altars. The altar of free for the white light gods, and on that queue, notice that before me is the altar of free. This is for the white lighter gods, Venora, Foe and Magrenon. Okay, that's what it looks like. And if you want to be able to find it, oh, I should have just cut all these trees down. Well, there's a big stream of white light, a white beam, and it goes all the way up into the sky. Wherever you are in the map, no matter where you are in this map, you will see the white beam, which is up here on this island. Okay, it's just there. Yeah, I'm sure I've got the right place. So I hope I've got the right. Yeah, it is. It's just there. So there we are. That's the white lighter. The black lighter, however, that's in the north. The black lighter is in the south. Although I'll cover that in another episode. Okay, where was I? Sorry, let me just catch up with myself. Okay, so I was talking about the 2 ways that you can become a follower. The first way is either a friend of yours who is a priest or a follower. Doesn't have to be a priest, can be a follower. Right clicks on you and left clicks on convert. So that's at the converting. Or you can make the pilgrimage to the altar of free if you want a white lighter, or to the bone altar for the black light for Libilla. Becoming a follower will provide small bonuses whilst in the domain of your respective god, and it will also open up the path to future abilities through priesthood. Many Wurmiums are followers and enjoy their life without considering becoming a priest, as it opens up the option to sacrifice items, which will be in another episode, and it will be a good one. Okay, so that's the 2 ways of becoming a follower. So if you have a friend or an alt logged in, remember you can log in an alt at the same time. Just to recap, and they are currently a follower of Venora, Magrenon or Libilla, then they only need right click on your avatar and select convert. Your character will then get a pop-up window that you must confirm to be converted to that religion, that faith, that god. That is the first way to become a follower of the chosen god, excluding foe. Now, on the subject of the needing one alignment for foe, and this is to answer your question, there is a way around this. Because notice up here, we have nothing. So how do we do it for foe? Okay, if you go to the white light, the big beam of white light you see in the sky, and use the altar of free, it eliminates that requirement. So there we go. And also, this is the second best way to become a follower of the... Actually, I'm going to correct myself here, okay? To travel to the altar of free is the best way to become a follower. It is the number one way. Being converted by someone else is the second way, but the best way is to go to the white light, or the black light if you want the black lighter. Why, I hear you ask? Well, because you will get, by doing the pilgrimage, you will get 5 points in your alignment instead of just 1 point. The same goes for the blacklight god Libilla. Hopefully the altars will not be too far from you. If they are, then just get converted, unless you want foe. Then, my friends, you are travelling to the white light. So, I hope that clears up how you can become a follower of foe, and also the best way of becoming a follower. Either go to the white light or the black light. Okay, so I've waffled enough. Actions speak louder than words, so let's step you through the process of becoming a follower. Okay, so let's walk over here. Observe, I've got nothing here. Now, so you make the pilgrimage and you get to the white or the black light altars. Okay, what you do, you can either right click on one of the sculptors or on the book itself, the pillar, or the book here, the altar. Just right click. Notice there is an option that says inscriptions. Each inscription is for one of the 3 gods. So foe, then Venora and Magrenon, and if you're at the black light, it will just be one inscription for Libilla. Now, I want to demonstrate becoming a follower of foe, because that's the one with contention, the one needing 1 in alignment. Because you're all asking yourselves, does the gamester walk it like he talks it? So I'm going to show you by proving it with foe. So we left click, read inscription 1. Okay, let's go a bit closer and try that again. Move closer and read inscription 1. It will come up with this window. The inscription talks about foe. If we go to inscription 2, it talks about Magrenon. Alright, not Venora. Sorry, I got the wrong way around. But anyway, you can see it's Magrenon. And if we go to inscription 3, it talks about Venora. Okay, we want inscription 1. So we go to inscriptions, read inscription 1, and it's talking about foe. That is who we want. I'm not going to go all through this. I want you to have the joy of seeing what it says. So it then concludes, do you want to become a follower of foe? I say accept, then click send. Bang. There we go. We now have faith and favour. We are now a follower. We have now converted to foe. Okay, so how do we get them points that I spoke to you about, them 5 points? Well, first off, notice we've joined the god foe. We didn't need 1 alignment. Now, so how do we get the 5 points? We pray. Okay, so right click on the altar, left click pray. Now, if you was to see my character, you would see me on my knees with my hands crossed in front of me, and I'm praying. Watch what happens when the praying gets to the end. Observe here. Bang, there we go, we got an achievement. Oh, we're not 5 points, 3 points. Well, okay, but it's still better than if you get converted and then pray at an altar, you'll only get 1 point. This way we get 3 points. Plus for foe, it's the only way you can do it. But there we are, now we have 3 alignment. Right, okay, so this episode's gone on for long enough. That's all I wanted to achieve in this episode, was becoming a follower, which we have done. We are now a follower of foe. Okay, moving on. Now I want to say something on a side note regarding my Wurm series. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It was only a start on religion. Now, if you did enjoy it, please click on the like button. I am new to being a YouTube creator. I am trying my best to become a YouTube creator. It is not easy by any means. There is every obstacle you can imagine that someone encounters as they progress with this. In this early stage, I really need support. I just need your support by clicking the like button. I have fast realised how important it is. Now, on that subject, if you've also enjoyed my other videos on Wurm, in the rest of this Wurm series that you've watched, then please take a little time out of your day, okay, to show your support to me for the many hours. I don't even know how many days I've spent making these episodes, but if you could spend some of your precious time going through my other episodes that you've watched and enjoyed, and please clicking the like button. If you do this, I will reward you. How? Well, if you want to see more than one Wurm video a week, then this is the way to show me that you wish that. Okay, so life, as you know, my friends, is give and take. You show me a little support by clicking the like button, and I will thank you by increasing the amount. I will go to at least 2 Wurm videos a week for you, split a few days apart. Anyway, sorry, I've waffled too much. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.